Chapter 3. Walking and battling in each other's shoes. Serena was still struggling to adjust to the overwhelming sensation of being in Ash's body. It wasn't just the physical differences, Ash's broader frame, the extra weight of his muscles, or his height that made her feel like she was towering over everything. It was the energy coursing through her. Ash's body was like a coiled spring, always ready to leap into action. Every movement felt faster, stronger, more powerful than anything she was used to. This was Ash's world. Everything about it was a stark contrast to the grace and poise she had cultivated for Pokémon showcases. Now, she had to embody his strength and battle prowess, and the thought terrified her. "Serena, Ash, are you okay?" Ash's voice, coming from her own body, brought Serena back to reality. She turned to see Ash standing awkwardly beside her, tugging at the hem of the short skirt Serena had been wearing when they swapped bodies. I'm fine, Serena said, though Ash's deeper voice still felt foreign in her throat. "I just need some time to adjust." She glanced down at her, his hands. "This is so strange." Ash scratched his head, shifting uncomfortably in her body. He was clearly struggling with his own set of challenges, though he was trying to play it cool. "You'll get used to it," he said with a forced grin, though his eyes betrayed his discomfort. "Besides, we'll figure out how to switch back soon. We just need to keep calm and, well, act like each other for a while." Serena nodded, though the idea of pretending to be Ash still made her stomach turn. How could she possibly fill his shoes, literally and figuratively? She was a Pokémon performer, not a battle-hardened trainer. What if someone challenged her to a battle? What if she messed up and tarnished Ash's reputation? As if on cue, a voice broke through the trees ahead of them. "Hey, Ash, is that you?" Serena's heart skipped a beat. She recognized the voice immediately. It was Trevor, a fellow trainer from the Kalos region. He was walking toward them with a smile on his face, holding his camera like usual. Behind him were Tierno and Shauna, two more friends they'd made on their journey. "Trevor, Shauna, Tierno," Ash called out, waving enthusiastically with Serena's much smaller arm. His voice wavered slightly. Hey! Serena resisted the urge to facepalm. That's not how I'd greet them. But she had no time to correct him because Trevor was already jogging over to them, his eyes gleaming with the excitement of seeing his friends. "Perfect timing," Trevor said, adjusting his camera. "I've been waiting to challenge you to a battle, Ash. I finally caught a new Pokémon I'm really proud of, and I want to see how it measures up against your team." Serena's heart sank, her stomach doing a nervous flip. A battle? Now? She glanced over at Ash, hoping he might come up with a reason to refuse, but he just gave her an encouraging thumbs up. "You've got this, Serena," Ash whispered, his voice a little too eager for her liking. "Just act like me. Be confident." "Act like you?" Serena thought, panic rising in her chest. "But I'm not you." But there was no way out of this now. Trevor was already pulling out a Pokeball, his eyes full of determination. "Let's make it a one-on-one, Ash. I want to see how my new Pokemon does in a real battle." Serena swallowed hard, feeling the unfamiliar strength of Ash's body as she took a deep breath. "Okay, I can do this. I've watched Ash battle a million times. I just have to think like him." She could feel the weight of Ash's Pokeballs hanging on his belt. Her fingers brushed against one, and she instinctively knew which Pokémon it was. Pikachu. She hesitated. Should she use Pikachu? No, that wouldn't be fair. Pikachu had battled enough today. She needed to show that she could handle this on her own, even if she was borrowing Ash's body for the time being. She grabbed another Pokeball and held it up, trying to mimic the confidence Ash always exuded before a battle. "All right, Trevor," she said, her voice trying to sound as bold as Ash's usually did. "Let's do this." Trevor grinned, tossing his Pokeball into the air. Go, Aerodactyl! The ancient Pokemon materialized in a burst of light, its massive wings flapping as it let out a screech that echoed through the forest. Aerodactyl hovered above the battlefield, its sharp teeth bared in a menacing grin. Serena felt her heart race. Okay, stay calm. What would Ash do? She thought quickly, assessing the situation. Aerodactyl was a rock and flying type, which meant speed would be key in this battle. With a flick of her wrist, she tossed her own Pokeball. Go, Hawlucha! In a flash of light, Hawlucha appeared, striking a heroic pose as it faced off against Aerodactyl. Serena could feel the tension between the two Pokemon, both eager to prove themselves. All right, Aerodactyl, use Rock Slide, Trevor commanded, his voice full of excitement. Aerodactyl let out another screech and flapped its wings, sending a barrage of jagged rocks hurtling toward Hawlucha. Serena's mind raced. What would Ash do? What would Ash do? Then it hit her. Ash would never back down from a challenge, and he'd definitely use Hawlucha's agility to his advantage. Hawlucha, dodge and use Flying Press, Serena ordered, her voice coming out more forceful than she intended. Hawlucha leapt into the air with incredible speed, narrowly dodging the falling rocks. It spread its wings and came crashing down on Aerodactyl with a powerful flying press, sending the rock-type Pokémon tumbling to the ground. Trevor's eyes widened in surprise. Wow, that was fast! Aerodactyl, get up and use Hyper Beam! Serena's heart skipped a beat as she watched Aerodactyl rise into the air, its mouth glowing with the energy of a Hyper Beam. Stay calm. Stay calm. What would Ash do? And then she knew. Hawlucha, use Detect. Hawlucha's eyes glowed as it anticipated the Hyper Beam, dodging the powerful attack at the last second. The beam of energy shot past it, crashing into the trees behind them. Trevor winced as Aerodactyl, now exhausted from using Hyper Beam, struggled to stay airborne. Aerodactyl, hang in there! Serena saw her opening. Hawlucha, finish it with high jump kick. Hawlucha shot into the air, its leg glowing as it soared toward Aerodactyl. With a powerful kick, it struck Aerodactyl square in the chest, sending the ancient Pokémon crashing to the ground in a cloud of dust. When the dust settled, Aerodactyl was down, unable to battle. I won, Serena whispered, barely able to believe it. Trevor recalled his Aerodactyl, a proud smile on his face. Nice job, Ash. That was an awesome battle. Serena blinked, still in shock. I actually won. She glanced down at her hands, Ash's hands, and felt a strange surge of pride. Maybe she could do this after all. Meanwhile, Ash was dealing with a different kind of battle. He had never realized how much coordination it took to walk in Serena's shoes. Literally, every step felt awkward and off balance, and the constant swish of Serena's dress against his legs was driving him crazy. Not to mention the fact that he had to keep adjusting his posture, trying to sit and stand in ways that didn't feel, well, weird. Why does she wear this stuff? Ash muttered under his breath, tugging at the hem of the dress once again. He had already learned one important lesson. Sitting down in a dress, without showing too much of his new, unfamiliar body, was a lot harder than it looked. He had nearly given Pikachu an eyeful when he sat down earlier, and the memory still made him cringe. He glanced over at Serena, his body, just in time to see her finishing the battle with Trevor. He couldn't help but feel a surge of pride. She was handling herself well, even in a situation as stressful as this. If anyone could figure out how to be him, it was Serena. But then, his mind drifted back to the Pokémon showcase. He had almost forgotten about it in the chaos of their Bodyswap, but it loomed over him like a dark cloud. He'd watched Serena perform in showcases before, and it always looked so graceful, so effortless. But now that he was in her body, He was starting to realize just how much skill it actually took. And in a few days, he would have to perform in front of a crowd as Serena. The thought made his stomach churn. How am I supposed to do that? He muttered to himself. I can barely walk in this body, let alone put on a performance. Pikachu, sensing his distress, hopped up onto Ash's, Serena's shoulder and nuzzled his cheek. Pika-Pee? Ash sighed, giving Pikachu a small smile. Thanks, buddy. I'm just worried about messing this up for Serena. He looked down at her hands again, feeling the unfamiliar weight of Serena's body. He wasn't used to feeling so delicate. Everything about her was so different from him. He wasn't sure how he was going to pull this off. But then he remembered Serena's words from earlier. Just act like me. Be confident. If Serena could handle battling as him, maybe he could handle performing as her. He just had to believe in himself. Well, believe in Serena. With a determined nod, Ash straightened his posture and took a deep breath. All right, Serena, you can do this.